but 24-3 in probably the best defensive performance that we've seen since Arizona State 2011. I know there's some other ones, like last year Minnesota was good, Penn State was good, but this felt like Ryan Walters' masterpiece.
We have not been outmatched defensively in a very, very long time. The first 3 games this year, we've dominated up front as far as the defensively goes, at times on the offensive line as well. Look at what they did against Northwestern last year in the final game of the season, dominated, right? They really dominated Minnesota last year, late in the year, right? They dominated Penn State, they dominated as well. So, I mean, what's interesting is, and I know it's, a couple weeks out, but, Wisconsin is another full circle game. That's the last game Illinois has really been, in my mind, dominated, right? And it's so Virginia was a game last year that got dominated. We are so much better up front defensively than even last year. It's astounding to see the growth. And so I'm just excited when I look at this team to play with. The defense plays with a lot of confidence, and it's not just one guy. And I told you, before we got on, I believe there's 5 NFL players right now on that defense. 3 in the back end with Sidney Brown, who is all over the field, Devin Witherspoon and Quan Martin. And I also think Johnny Newton and, of course, Keith Randolph, they're all pros. I think they could all be draft picks this year.
Yeah. And Jay, what a difference a year makes. We knew this defense was different from the one that went to Charlottesville, right? We've talked about the scheme change, personnel changes he's made, but just in the game plan, the execution, what was so different, except for Virginia's offensive line, that was suspect? What was so different in Illinois on September 10th, 2022 than September 11th, 2021?
Well, first and foremost, I think there was absolutely no run game. Okay. So they became one-dimensional really, really quick. Number 2 is, I think this is related to the offensive line, which you said outside of the offensive line. We got a lot of pressure, right? And it wasn't just from D linemen. I mean, I saw D'Arcangelo have a couple hits. Obviously, Keith had a sack. I think Gabe Akis had 2 sacks. Odaluga had a play near the goal line where, just where it was a tackle for loss. But they just had penetration everywhere, right? Tariq Barnes had a play where he got great penetration early. And I think the difference, we've watched a lot of Illinois games, so I like to go down memory lane with you, Jeremy, is we've seen the wheels come off early in a game, much like they did offensively for Illinois. Your 3 best players create, just have errors. I mean, we had, Chase Brown fumbled, DeVito throws a pick, Chase Brown fumbled. We also had Isaiah Williams drop the first pass. You're just like, dude, those are our best 3 players. Like, we can't have our best 3 players do that. But I think in the past, that would end up into maybe 14, maybe 21 points, right? The defense has allowed the offense to stick around, get going, and great response by Chase and great response by Isaiah. And DeVito, I think, rattled off 13 in a row after that. So, I mean, they responded well. But it's the ability to hang in games. There was no margin for hanging in games in the past with Beckman or with Lovey, right? I mean, like, if you're down 2 or 3 scores, it was done. We didn't have enough defense to keep it up or enough offense to go back and forth and trade points. So I think that's what I saw overall. That was the biggest thing. And then number 2 is we've gotten a whole lot better in man-to-man coverage over a year. I mean, you remember those, this is number 3, I guess, but number of receivers all over the place open. 99, I just remember being open all the time. I remember Kemp being open, number 4. And I just think we play with a ton of confidence and really get up in people's grills. I mean, really challenge people.